In the intricate dance of attraction and intimacy, understanding the nuances of physical touch can transform your connections with women. Did you know that certain secret places to touch a woman can amplify desire and deepen emotional bonds? These subtle yet impactful areas hold the potential to drive her crazy in the best way possible. Psychology plays a significant role in how we respond to touch, making it crucial to learn which areas elicit heightened sensations and emotional responses. Imagine igniting a spark of passion through the power of touch. Something as simple as a gentle caress or a playful poke can speak volumes more than words ever could. By tapping into these secret zones, you not only enhance the physical aspect of your relationship, but also create an atmosphere of intimacy and trust. Are you ready to discover the psychological facts behind these secret places and learn how to navigate them effectively? Keep reading to unlock the secrets that could elevate your romantic experiences and drive her crazy with excitement. First, Touchpoint. Understanding what truly moves a woman. People often say, women who like to dance often have a high divorce rate. Women who are greedy for money often have a prosperous life. Sweet-talking men often have complex souls. When looking at a man, look at his legs. If his legs are not hairy, he will not last long in anything he does. When looking for a woman, you should look at her mouth. Imagine the situation. A businessman came home from work and found his wife and another man in the bedroom. The celebrity quietly left the room, gently locked the door, and called his mother-in-law and said, "Mom, what's going on? Your daughter locked herself in the room." Less than 9 minutes later, both cars were full of people and arrived. After breaking the door, you know what happened. After that, the businessman divorced his wife. Not long after, he set his eyes on the company's new secretary. The businessman was an upright person, so he participated in a fair competition. The secretary was not moved and continued to have a relationship with the young man. The businessman immediately arranged for the secretary to go shopping for party supplies and company gifts. Not only that, the businessman also held a lucky draw at the year-end party. Arranged for the secretary to travel to Dubai for 1 week with many attractive gifts. A few months later, the secretary broke up with her boyfriend, agreeing to date the businessman. If you are a man without strategy, you will not have success. If you win the game of love, you must be cool-headed and intelligent. If you want to touch a woman, you must know how. Otherwise, you will lose yourself. Imagine coming home one evening expecting the quiet warmth of familiarity, only to discover something so deeply unsettling in your most personal space. Many men would explode in anger, maybe act impulsively, letting rage dictate their next steps. But this man, a distinguished entrepreneur, responded with a calm that masked any hint of turmoil. He simply stepped back, locked the door, and with a controlled composure, called his mother-in-law. "Your daughter's locked herself in her room," he said with surprising calmness. Within minutes, support arrived, and the scene played out just as he had anticipated, leaving no question about what would come next, a silent but definite divorce. It's this calm and deliberate approach that gives us a glimpse into the mindset of a man who knows the power of restraint. Rather than letting emotions dictate his actions, he embraced composure. Not long after this chapter ended, he encountered a young secretary at his workplace, a woman who was intelligent, confident, and unimpressed by his status. She was happily in a relationship with someone else, and it didn't seem to bother him at all. Instead of competing for her attention, he did something unexpected. He created opportunities for her to showcase her strengths. He brought her along to important events, entrusted her with big responsibilities, and even invited her on a business trip to Dubai. As time went on, she began to notice what set him apart: his quiet assurance, his consistency, his unwillingness to play games. He wasn't chasing her. He was creating a world where she felt valued and seen. and gradually her curiosity turned into admiration. It wasn't about manipulation, it was about patience, subtlety, and respect. But what's the secret here? What's the difference between charming someone and connecting with them on a profound level? It's not flashy gestures or even wealth. It's the kind of quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and knowing what you want. Renowned author and psychologist Dr. Robert Greene explains, "When you show patience and self-control, you reveal a power far greater than any display of anger." His words cut to the core of what it means to truly win someone over. Women are drawn not to superficial displays, but to an unwavering sense of self, a trait that demonstrates depth, strength, and integrity. In these qualities lies the kind of attraction that goes beyond surface level, building a bridge that invites curiosity, admiration, and connection. So, how does a man connect with a woman on this level? It begins with a firm understanding that real connection is born not from trying to impress, but from showing genuine respect and vulnerability. Imagine, instead of grand gestures, a man who listens deeply, values the independence of the woman he's with, and knows when to step back and let her take the lead. This approach requires a rare blend of self-confidence and humility, qualities that not only attract but also sustain meaningful relationships. Consider the timeless words of Marcus Aurelius. "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This Stoic wisdom reminds us that character is not something we build through words but through actions. Respecting someone's independence, holding space for their growth, and knowing when to walk away are marks of true strength. In moments of betrayal or hurt, remaining grounded says far more about a man's character than a reactive outburst ever could. In culture, relationships are often idolized through dramatic gestures, yet it's these quieter values, integrity, resilience, emotional maturity, that have staying power. It's about embodying respect, both for yourself and for the person you're with. The real work, then, is in cultivating these qualities within yourself, rather than strategizing how to win someone's affection. Why is this so impactful? Because relationships at their core thrive on mutual respect, emotional stability, and an appreciation of what's truly meaningful. It's not about feigned charisma, but the real, steady flame of genuine self-assurance. True strength isn't about forcing connections or manipulating outcomes, but about knowing your worth and creating a life others want to be part of. In a world where instant gratification often takes precedence, the ability to remain calm and intentional in the face of emotion is rare and magnetic. It's what makes someone unforgettable. So, the next time you're faced with a situation that tests your patience or self-worth, remember that true power lies in your response. Second touch point: touch her mind before you touch her heart. Imagine a quiet man, a reserved philosopher, someone who values the peace of tranquil days. But each evening, the neighborhood kids gather outside his home, their laughter echoing into his study. His polite requests for quiet are only met with louder shouts. Frustration builds within him. Then he thinks, what if I try something unexpected? The next day he steps outside to meet the children, a smile on his face. Your laughter is so entertaining. Each day you come, I'll give you $5. Surprised yet delighted, the kids return every day. After a week, he lowers the reward to $2, then to a single piece of candy, and eventually to nothing at all. Feeling insulted, the children scoffed. Why did we come here if there was no reward? Зрение. Почему мы пришли сюда, чтобы сделать его счастливым? They stop coming and peace is restored. What did he achieve here? A subtle method, free of force, yet powerful in effect. What's the takeaway? Human psychology thrives on curiosity and gradual buildup. Apply this reverse psychology. Now let's talk about romance. Have you ever noticed that sometimes too much attention can have the opposite effect? Picture this. You approach a woman with intent, but move slowly, honoring each small step. Starting from 0, you advance bit by bit, maybe from 0 to 0.1, letting her anticipation build naturally. Let's take a look at the science behind this. Our brains are hardwired to expect rewards. Research in psychology reveals that when a reward is paused unexpectedly, it triggers a dopamine spike. According to Dr. Robert Sapolsky, a renowned neuroscientist, the anticipation of reward, rather than the reward itself, gives the brain a potent, almost addictive response. By embracing this subtlety, you're tapping into a natural neurological response system. When we approach love in this way, we echo the wisdom of ancient thinkers. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet, as Aristotle famously said. Cultivating emotional depth requires nuance, curiosity, and the courage to linger in the unknown. So, how do you keep her wanting more? Ask yourself, are you revealing too much too soon? Or are you leaving her a mystery to uncover? Third touchpoint, a catalyst for connection and success. Have you ever noticed how a simple act of kindness, like holding a door open or giving a heartfelt thank you, can instantly brighten someone's day? These small gestures often go beyond that fleeting moment. They become the foundation for a lasting, meaningful impression. But why does kindness have such an appeal? And why does gratitude make others more likely to remember and connect with you? As Cicero once said, gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. In our fast-paced, often self-focused world, the values of kindness and gratitude might seem relics of a gentler age. Yet studies reveal they're more relevant than ever, especially in building genuine connections, deepening empathy, and even strengthening resilience under stress. Expressing gratitude, in particular, has been shown to strengthen interpersonal relationships, enhance self-esteem, and make one seem approachable and trustworthy. Picture this. You're on a date. The evening's going well, but then your date notices you sincerely thanking the waiter and holding the door open for an elderly couple on their way out. She smiles. This small gesture reveals something important about your character. It shows her that you're thoughtful and caring. She might think, if he's considerate to strangers like this, imagine how much he'd care for those he loves. Humans, especially women, are incredibly perceptive. Actions born from genuine kindness and gratitude exhibit emotional maturity and empathy, two extremely attractive qualities. Think about this. By practicing these virtues, you're subconsciously telling her that you're someone who values others, knows how to show appreciation, and has the potential to nurture a healthy relationship. Now let's reconsider the story of a young boy, eager to work his way out of hardship. Imagine if one day a hotel owner steps outside and encounters a group of beggars. Among them, he spots a skinny 10-year-old boy, not holding a bowl like the others, but a sign that reads, "I want to earn money. Please help me get a shoe shine box." Intrigued, the hotel owner asks the boy how much he needs. The boy replies confidently, "I need $60 for a full kit. I have $20, but I need $40 more." The hotel owner quietly sits down and offers to give him $40, but on one condition. Consider this an investment. In 4 days, I want my $40 back, plus $1 in interest. Do you accept? The boy agrees enthusiastically. With his newfound kit, the boy returns to the hotel entrance, looking around, finally smiling and saying, "Why don't you be my first customer? Pay me the $1 interest today." The hotel owner happily agreed, noting that if the boy did not hit the ball well, he was a liar, and my investment was a failure. Confident in his skills, the boy makes the shoes gleam within minutes, impressing the owner. With a chuckle, the owner takes a pen and scribbles "very good" on the boy's cheek. As a crowd gathers, The boy proudly points to his cheek and offers to polish everyone's shoes, proclaiming, "This is the reward my first customer gave me. Would you like the same?" 4 days later, the boy returns, beaming with pride, handing the owner $40 and saying, "I made $40 and I'm returning your full $40. They shake hands, a bond of trust and respect sealed between them. 17 years later, after a pandemic and lockdowns have nearly driven the hotel to bankruptcy, the owner finds himself desperate for a miracle. Just as hope begins to dwindle, an investor appears offering to save his business. When they meet, the hotel owner sees a handsome young man with a familiar look in his eyes. Ready to invest $400,000 with a 5-year commitment, he asks the owner one simple question: "What's your expected profit?" Startled, the owner looks at the logo on the young man's shirt that reads, "Very good." Choked with emotion, realizing this is the same boy who once held a shoeshine box outside his hotel. Now, have you ever wondered why certain people seem to have an unusual charm? Often it's not grand romantic gestures, but subtle, consistent acts of kindness and thoughtfulness that make people feel valued and respected. Small moments accumulate, creating a powerful impact over time. So next time you want to make a meaningful impression, remember, it's not always grand gestures that matter most. Sometimes, the secret lies in those tiny acts of kindness that reveal your character. How will you use this secret weapon today? Fourth point of contact, the art of influence, shaping choices in just seconds. You might think it's far-fetched, but within less than 5 seconds, we can subtly nudge someone into a mindset or even a decision. Sounds extreme? This tactic, powerful and artfully subtle, is used daily by people everywhere, knowingly or not, from making a lasting impression to sealing business deals. Here's how it works. 1. The power of perception and choice. Imagine this. You hear about a college student who takes a job at a bar. If someone says, "She's lost her way working in a bar," you might see her as struggling. Now, if they said, "She's working to support herself through college," suddenly she appears responsible and determined. This slight change in language does a lot. It shows how just a few words can reshape perception. Or take another scenario. A guest comes over and you ask, "Would you like a drink?" The common reply is likely, "No, thanks." But if you say, "I have coffee and tea, would you like one?" Suddenly they feel invited to choose, even if they hadn't planned to drink anything. Why? Because people often feel a natural urge to choose when presented with options instead of an open-ended question. This isn't mere trickery. Psychologists call it choice framing. By offering a choice, you gently guide someone into making a decision that, in a way, you've set up. 2. Redirecting desires with positive framing. Think about children and their uncanny knack for doing exactly the opposite of what they're told. Say you want your child to limit screen time. If you say, "Stop playing video games," you've likely made the games more tempting simply by putting that idea in their heads. It's the classic, "Don't think of a pink elephant" scenario. What happens? You think of a pink elephant because you use the wrong method. Bad transfer image. Instead, try offering an appealing alternative. Instead of banning the games outright, you might say, "Would you like to go play soccer with your friends?" Neuroscience backs this up. Our brains are wired to hold on to the images and ideas presented to us, particularly positive ones. So when you offer an exciting alternative, the mind naturally gravitates toward it. 3. Fear of missing out, the psychological hook. Sometimes it's about tapping into the innate human fear of being left behind. Imagine a school advertising itself with the line, "We don't train your kids, we train your kids' opponents." Instantly, this phrase sparks concern in a parent's mind, motivating them to sign up to prevent their child from falling behind. Social psychologists call this Loss aversion, the cognitive bias where people are more driven to prevent loss than to make a gain. This isn't manipulation, it's harnessing psychology. Why does understanding these strategies matter? Because if you've ever felt ignored or misunderstood, it might be that others understand these subtle mental cues better than you. The problem is you don't break the other person's logic. To bridge this gap, it's crucial to break through the logical defenses of others by meeting them where their thoughts naturally flow. Applying these lessons in life. When communicating, ask yourself, what images or emotions am I evoking? Much like a photographer frames a shot, the right framing of a conversation can stir emotions, desires, and even actions. Build connection with subtlety. People often ask, how can I attract someone without coming across as too eager? The answer lies in being empathetic to their values. Just as you might encourage a child to envision playing outside, take the time to find out what's important to them. If she values adventure, suggest fun plans or talk about places you'd both like to explore. This isn't about pushing an agenda, but about planting a thought in her mind that makes her want to explore on her own. This approach is graceful and respectful of their freedom, opening the door to deeper connections without feeling forced. Rethinking communication, curiosity, sparking questions. Picture every conversation as a chance to close a door or open a window. Instead of asking, "Are you happy with your job?" try, "What would you change about your job if you could?" This second question doesn't just spark reflection, it evokes possibility, prompting the mind to consider options. As Dale Carnegie said, the only way to influence someone is to find out what they want and show them how to get it. The science of why our minds follow certain patterns. Psychologists have identified what's known as the law of least effort, our tendency to choose the easiest route, especially when decision-making becomes complex. Questions like, "Would you like coffee or tea?" save the other person from thinking too hard, making them more likely to choose one of the options. Whether in relationships, work, or daily decisions, these mental shortcuts can tip the scales between yes and no. The Stoic approach, influence without overwhelm. Manipulation often gets a bad rap because it's seen as sneaky or controlling. But Stoics teach that influence is about understanding human nature and guiding it respectfully. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like the person who wronged you." Influence, then, is about subtlety and leading by example, not by force. By mastering these techniques, you're not controlling others' choices. You're aligning with the natural paths their minds already want to explore. So next time you're in a tough conversation, remember, it's not about control. It's about guiding the discussion toward a place where both sides feel heard and respected. With curiosity, understanding, and respect, influence becomes more than just a tool for control. It's a gateway to authentic connection. How will you use it? Fifth touchpoint, the back of her neck. There's something almost magical about the nape of a woman's neck. This seemingly ordinary area is a treasure trove of nerve endings, making it one of the most sensitive spots on the human body. A gentle touch here can work wonders, creating an unspoken connection that resonates deeply. Imagine this. You're on a first date, enjoying a light-hearted conversation after 15 to 20 minutes of shared laughter and stories. If she's wearing a necklace, a subtle, intentional touch can transform the moment. As your fingers glide softly over her collarbone, you might say, "That's a beautiful necklace," before seamlessly returning to your conversation. This brief, tender gesture, executed at just the right moment, can elicit a delightful shiver, igniting a spark of intimacy. Timing is everything. The artistry lies in knowing when to initiate such a gesture. Consider choosing a moment when she's least expecting it, perhaps while sharing a laugh over a funny story or when she's deeply engaged in your dialogue. This touch isn't just romantic, it leaves a lasting impression. It's a subtle reminder of your presence, conveying admiration without uttering a word. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely noted, "The greatest things in life can only be touched once." This kind of touch embodies that sentiment. It's not about intensity, it's about intention. The subtlety and spontaneity of this gesture amplify its impact. By thoughtfully touching her nape, you communicate, "I see you and I value you." The connection between physical touch and emotional closeness is well documented. Touch reinforces relationships, alleviates stress, and fosters trust and bonding. Simple gestures, like a hand resting gently on her neck, allow couples to connect on a primal level that words often fail to express. Next time you sense the right moment, seize the opportunity to connect in a meaningful yet understated way. Whether you're at a cafe or sharing a quiet moment at home, a soft touch to her nape can be the simplest yet most powerful gesture to deepen your connection. These small acts of intimacy remind her that in a noisy world, you resonate with her essence. Embrace the magic of touch and let it inspire a connection that lingers long after the moment has passed. Touchpoint 6. Run your hands through her hair. When it comes to a first date, creating a meaningful connection is the ultimate goal. And sometimes, a simple, well-timed gesture, a gentle, almost instinctive sweep of her hair behind her ear, can say more than words. Imagine your fingertips grazing the soft line of her neck, a move that feels as natural as it is powerful, subtly crafting a moment of closeness and warmth. Picture this. You two are sitting next to each other, laughter fills the air, and there's an unmistakable attraction between you. The conversation flows, she leans in, and just for a second, a lock of her hair falls across her cheek. Here's your moment. Reach out, confident and gentle, and tuck it behind her ear. With just that small, intimate touch, you're sending signals of care, making her feel valued, seen, and appreciated. But timing is everything. When is the right moment for such a gesture? Ideally, it should come when the atmosphere feels relaxed, maybe just before the first kiss. Your attentiveness matters here. You don't want to rush or come across as too forward. If her hair is about to fall into her plate, that's a practical cue. Otherwise, wait until the touch feels entirely natural, a seamless extension of the moment you're sharing. A gentle touch can foster rapport and amplify a sense of closeness, tapping into a primal instinct that evokes feelings of comfort and safety. In a world so often dominated by technology, we yearn for authentic connection. A subtle, genuine touch has the power to cut through the noise, reminding us of our shared humanity. It's not just attraction, it's about creating a space where vulnerability thrives. In dating, the power of connection lies in your presence and attentiveness, making your date feel like they're the center of your world. A soft touch, shared at just the right time, can transform an ordinary evening into something unforgettable. Which small gestures do you find effective in building a connection? Are you ready to embrace the power of touch and create a memory that lingers in her mind long after the night ends? It's all about the bond you cultivate and the shared experience. Let your actions convey genuine interest and care, and you may just find yourself on the path to something truly extraordinary. 7th touchpoint, connecting through the lower back. In the realm of intimacy, it's often the smallest gestures that carry the most weight. Surprisingly, one of the most effective ways to foster a deeper connection with a woman is through a gentle touch on her lower back. This seemingly simple act is a powerful yet subtle move that balances respect and attraction, often overlooked but immensely impactful. The lower back holds a unique psychological significance. Unlike more visible areas like the arms or shoulders, this region is inherently more private and less frequently touched. A light, respectful touch here can evoke a sense of closeness, without crossing any boundaries. Imagine the release of tension when you offer a soft massage in this area, especially when you're standing or sitting close together. This gentle contact can awaken a heightened awareness of the body, sparking feelings of warmth and intimacy between two people. The right moment is crucial. A perfect opportunity to initiate this gentle touch might arise when you're guiding her through a doorway or assisting her up a flight of stairs. A light, respectful hand on her lower back can make her feel secure and noticed. Lingering just a moment longer than necessary can add an alluring layer to the interaction. Picture this scenario. You're navigating through a bustling crowd. With a gentle hand placed on her lower back, you lead her safely through the throng. This subtle gesture does two things. It reassures her amidst the chaos, while simultaneously showcasing your attentiveness and presence in a way that is both protective and respectful. Practical tips for natural engagement context is key. This kind of touch feels most natural in relaxed settings, so avoid using it in overly formal situations or during initial encounters. Keep it light. A gentle touch can work wonders. A soft caress is always better than a firm grip. Observe her reaction. Pay attention to her response. If she seems comfortable, that's a great sign. If she appears uneasy, respect her space. These subtle gestures are pivotal steps toward building trust and connection. So, the next time you find yourself walking alongside someone you're drawn to, remember the understated power of a light touch on the lower back. It's a small gesture, yet it holds the potential to create an unforgettable moment. In the art of connection, it's often the understated acts that leave the most lasting impressions. The world around us moves quickly, and amidst the hustle and bustle, a gentle touch can pause time, creating a bridge of intimacy that invites deeper understanding. Embrace the subtlety and watch how it transforms your interactions into something truly special. The eighth touch, whispering in the ear, creates connection in the chaos. Imagine this. You're at a buzzing bar, music reverberating all around, and a cascade of conversations blending into a lively, chaotic symphony. Then, through the energy of the room, you catch a glimpse of someone magnetic, a woman with a presence that pulls you in. So how do you stand out and create a memorable connection in an environment so full of noise and distraction? Here's the scene. You make your way over, wearing a confident smile. With the music thumping, you lean in just enough to speak directly into her ear, not only to make yourself heard, but to establish a sense of closeness. This isn't just about raising your voice to compete with the noise. It's about using the environment to your advantage, crafting an intimate space between the two of you amid the chaos. In this moment, a light, natural touch on her arm or shoulder can be powerful, not forced, but a gentle signal that you're engaged and truly present. What makes this interaction special? Consider what you're bringing to the moment. What stories can you share that would resonate with her, making her feel understood and amused? A personal anecdote or a light-hearted observation about the situation can break through any initial barriers. For instance, share a funny story about a time you tried to impress someone and ended up making a humorous blunder. This shows a level of vulnerability, inviting her to laugh and feel at ease. It might even encourage her to share her own experiences, building a back and forth that feels natural and refreshing. Now ask an open-ended question. What's been your most memorable encounter in a crowded place? This isn't just a generic question. It invites her to share a unique story, something a bit personal that helps deepen the bond you're creating. And when she responds, listen intently, showing genuine curiosity in her story. The key here isn't just in the words, but in the energy you bring, letting her feel like she's the most important person in the room, even in a sea of people. In a crowded setting, remember, it's not about what you say as much as it is about how you make her feel. With humor, a touch of vulnerability, and a genuine interest in her perspective, you can turn a brief encounter into something unforgettable. So, next time you find yourself in a bustling bar or event, think about this approach. Go beyond the superficial and let the connection you create be something memorable, something that stands out even when surrounded by the noise. Ninth touch point, gently on the thigh. Isn't it fascinating how a simple touch can hold such profound significance? The inner thigh, often overlooked in everyday interactions, is not only a highly sensitive area, but also a gateway to deeper intimacy. Imagine the impact of a gentle, deliberate caress. It's not merely about romance, it's an invitation to connect on a deeper emotional level. In a world where quick exchanges dominate, a mindful touch here speaks volumes. It conveys respect, interest, and a desire for a meaningful connection, all without overwhelming. This part of the body, so close to the essence of our being, is often untouched, making a gentle gesture feel all the more intimate. Practical tips for meaningful touch: start softly. Just like a great conversation begins with a warm greeting, so should an intimate moment start with a feather-light touch. It's a tender way to say, "I'm here, fully present with you." Tune into her comfort. Pay attention to her reactions. Is she leaning in? Does she seem open to this exchange? Intimacy is a dance, a mutual rhythm that flourishes when both partners engage. Foster connection beyond touch. Words matter. Speak softly, hold eye contact, and let your presence resonate. Remember, true intimacy weaves together physical touch, engaging dialogue, and shared understanding. Be mindful and respectful. Embrace the emotional presence that comes with intimacy. Take your time to savor the moment, nurturing trust and connection with every gentle gesture. Touch is an ancient language, one that transcends words and taps into our primal need for connection. John Keats once said, "Sometimes the most beautiful things in life come from gentleness." Indeed, when it comes to the inner thigh, less truly is more. The secret lies in simplicity and thoughtfulness. So, approach this intimate journey with curiosity and reverence, remembering that the path to genuine closeness is as much about the heart as it is about the hands. In a world that sometimes rushes by, let's cherish these moments of connection. They can be the most transformative experiences of our lives. Touch point 10, touch her waist. Touching a woman's waist can be a surprisingly intimate gesture, one that holds profound psychological implications for the connection between two people. When executed with respect and genuine intent, this subtle movement creates not only a sense of closeness but also conveys trust, support, and affection, foundational elements of a healthy relationship. The waist is a sensitive area that balances vulnerability and comfort, making it a unique point of contact in human interactions. According to relationship expert John Gottman, every kind gesture you deposit into what he calls an emotional bank account strengthens your relationship, allowing for deeper and more meaningful exchanges over time. A sincere touch can fortify this bond without crossing boundaries or causing discomfort. Imagine walking through a crowded place together. Instinctively, you place your hand on her waist to gently guide her. This action is protective, delicate, and deeply significant. It conveys a sense of care and presence that enriches the shared experience. This effect isn't confined to romantic relationships. It's a universal human response. A light touch on the shoulder or a friendly handshake can foster trust. However, the waist carries a special intimacy as it occupies that unique space between public affection and casual closeness, making it ideal for romantic interactions. There's a notable difference between a spontaneous touch that communicates, "I'm here for you," and a touch that feels rehearsed or forced. Picture this. You're in a cozy restaurant, sharing laughter, and she leans slightly toward you. In that moment, resting your hand on her waist feels like a natural response, reinforcing the connection and giving her a sense of comforting closeness. Being fully present, free from distractions like phones or anxieties, shines through in your interactions. A gentle, natural touch during conversation or shared laughter communicates sincerity and builds trust. When you infuse your interactions with presence, authenticity, and a hint of affection, you not only make someone feel cherished, you actively cultivate a memorable connection. In this dance of human interaction, it's the small, meaningful gestures that truly resonate, deepening bonds and fostering a sense of belonging. So, let your touch be an embodiment of your heart, a bridge to the soul, enriching the beautiful tapestry of human connection. Touch the 11th point. Playful hands gently move your fingers. Imagine a moment of silence that fills the space between you, yet the air buzzes with unspoken energy. As you lean in closer, consider the finesse in your touch. When your fingertips softly glide over her arm, it's just enough to awaken her senses without breaking the moment with laughter. After all, you want to elevate that instant, not disrupt it. This gentle caress can heighten her awareness, transforming a simple touch into a profound experience. Instead of fearing vulnerability, why not embrace it? Each delicate brush of your fingers can be a step toward breaking down barriers and building a stronger bond. Pay attention to her reactions. Is she leaning in? Is she smiling? These signals can guide you to adjust your approach, making the interaction more meaningful. Engage with her in that moment. The more present you are, the more she will feel valued and understood. Start slowly, like an artist approaching a blank canvas. Begin with broad strokes. Let your fingers dance lightly before discovering the perfect rhythm that resonates with her. Mastering the art of gentle touch is not merely a physical interaction, it's a pathway to emotional intimacy. By nurturing sensitivity and mindfulness in your approach, you open the door to deeper connections. With each soft movement, you're not just touching her skin, you're touching her heart. So let your fingertips whisper what words sometimes cannot express. Every moment spent in this dance can inspire her to feel more alive, more cherished. As you navigate this dance, remember that it's about creating a symphony of sensations, a blend of excitement and tranquility that resonates deeply within both of you. Let each gentle touch remind her that she is seen, valued, and connected to you in a way that transcends the ordinary. This is where true connection begins. A delicate yet powerful exchange that can transform a simple interaction into an unforgettable experience. As we've explored the secret places to touch a woman that can drive her crazy, it's essential to remember that connection goes beyond mere physical touch. Understanding psychology facts about intimacy and attraction can transform the way you interact with your partner, fostering deeper emotional bonds. Touch is a powerful language that speaks volumes about affection and desire. By learning how to navigate these intimate areas with sensitivity and respect, you can create unforgettable moments that elevate your relationship to new heights. So, embrace the adventure of discovering what brings joy and pleasure to your partner. Take the time to communicate openly and explore each other's preferences, ensuring that every interaction is consensual and enjoyable. When you approach intimacy with love and intention, you'll find that the connection you build will be incredibly rewarding. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to The Stoic Goddess for more insightful content. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our fantastic videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.